Hi Presley! So in today's video lesson, we're going to start with our 5-finger pattern as usual, and then we're going to upgrade it to something called a C major scale. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. From there we'll go on to page 10 in our book, and it's called Little River. We worked on this one a little bit before, so we're just going to touch up on it today, and then after that we're going to get into a little bit of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. All right, so let's take it from the top here. I'll go ahead and turn you to face the keys. One moment. Excellent. Okay, so first we're going to start with our 5-finger patterns, and we're actually going to close the piano. So go ahead and close the lid of your piano and take your thumbs, your ones, right? And we're just going to tap the wood on the piano. So we're going to start with our ones. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. And now we're going to go back now. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So pinkies first. We'll go 5s, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Now we're going to open this back up in just a minute, but first let's do 1, 2, 3. So we'll go thumb, pointer finger, that's 2, and then middle finger, that's our 3. So 1, 2, 3. And now, after those 3, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll take it slow. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you try. And keep trying it. And you want to get used to the feeling of the pads of your fingers, of your fingertips, touching the wood here. And that'll get you used to playing those keys really easily and used to the finger pattern so your muscles remember what's going on. So one more time here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down now. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to go 3, 2, 1. See how it's the same way up as it is down? Awesome. So once you get used to that finger pattern, going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Once you get used to going up and down, we're going to add the keys. So when you're ready, go ahead and open up that piano back up. And we'll start at C. That's always a nice comfy spot to start in with our warm-ups here. So find middle C for me. On mine, it's just beneath this little logo and a little to the left. Nice. And if you have trouble finding C, find D by knowing that it's in the doghouse. The 2 black keys are the doghouse. The dog, D, goes inside the doghouse. Once you find D, you can just step down 1 to C, and you found it. So we're starting right at C, and we'll just do our 5-finger pattern as usual. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now try it with me. We'll go 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Let's try that again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's just do that one more time here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on G. Back down. 5 on G. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And now we're going to do our left hand just to make sure our left hand's also in good shape here. I'll come around this way and we'll just go from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. And then back down. 1 on G, 2, 3, job. So let's do the left hand one more time here. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Feel free to repeat that as much as you need. No shame in that whatsoever. So let's now try and upgrade what we have. So we have the 5-finger pattern that we know and love, right? So now let's go back to that pattern that we worked on just at the beginning of the lesson. Just on the wood of the piano, we did this. We did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's talk about that. So take your thumb, put it right on C, and then open up your hand so the rest of your fingers are ready to play as well. And we're just going to go to 3 and stop, like we did on the wood of the piano. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and now stop and freeze. Third finger should be on E, and now your thumb is going to come underneath your middle finger. So we have our middle finger here. We go 1, 2, 3, and then our thumb tucks behind our middle finger and plays the next note. So it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1. And I know that's pretty difficult to see at first from this angle, but I'm going to try it a few times, and we're going to do it together. Ready? So 3, 4. C on 1, and then D, 2, and then 3 on E, and then thumb. See the thumb here? It's going to come around and tuck underneath your middle finger, and then the rest of your hand's going to open up. So those 4 notes are C, D, E, F, or we can look at it as 1, 2, 3, 1. See that? So I'm going to bring the camera angle down a little bit so maybe you can see what's happening from behind my hand. So if we have C right here, see that's C because it's to the left of the 2 black keys, or to the left of D. We'll go C with 1, and then 2, 3, and then my thumb here is going to go whoop, F. So we have C, D, E, F. Now try it several times while looking at your thumb, and if it's helpful, just go 1, 2, 3, 1, and scoop your thumb behind your 3rd finger without even playing on the piano. Just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then once you feel more comfortable with that, try and apply it to the piano. So C, D, E, 1 on F, and then open up the rest of your hand. Awesome. So I'm going to change the angle a little bit here so you can see it even better. We'll do it one more time. So we have C with 1, and then D with 2, 3 with E, and then 1 on F. Awesome. So do you remember the rest of that pattern we were working on when we were tapping it on the piano? Remember how we went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just finished the rest of our 5th fingers, the 5 fingers in that hand after you move to F, and then you've got a full C major scale. That's from C to C, starting at 1 C, ending at the very next C. And you can do this anywhere on the piano. And so I'm gonna bring you back up here, and we're gonna try this full pattern together from a top view. So it's a little easier to see what's going on each key. All right, so I'll count you off. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. C with 1, D, 2, 3 on E, and then 1 comes around to F, G, A, B, C. And so we've made it from the bottom C to this top C, and then we're going to stop there and go back down. So we go C, B, A, G, F, and that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to go around, and our third finger is going to hop over our 1. So if we're playing here, we have 1, third finger is going to go boop, almost like a little bunny. So we're up here, we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Then your third finger is going to hop over your 1. So third finger is going to go whoa. And then once you play the note, then open up your hand so that the rest of your fingers come down. And look, we have 2 here, and then 1 on C. So that pattern is going to help you get from one C to the next C without any difficulties, or because obviously we don't have 8 fingers in one hand, right? We only have 5, so we have to make do as best as we can and find a pattern that'll allow us to smoothly play the next note. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play it with me one more time here, that C major scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then back down. C, B, A, G, F. And then third finger hops over 1. So hop, E, D, C. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our book. If any of that feels like it's just a little bit too far ahead for what you're doing, don't worry about it. We'll go over it in person, but just try your best, okay? And then be sure to write down any questions you may have about that pattern, or just anything you'd like to ask me about what's going on with our lessons. So let's go on to Little River. We're going to start at the beginning here. We have 1 on middle C here. And middle C, we've been playing all lesson, right? So that's a fun one. It should be easily recognized because we have that line going through the note. If you look at the first note on your page, that middle C, see how it's got that line? That's how you know it's a middle C. All right, so from there, you'll notice that each note is stepping upwards, right? So C, step up to D, step up to E, E steps up to F, F to G, and then once we got to G at our second measure, we start moving downwards from there. So G, F, E, D, C, hold this because it's a half note for 2 beats, and then D, 2 beats, and then E, 2, 3. Nice, so let's try this first line together. 1, 2, 1 on C, and C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, and then C, and hold, 2, and D, and hold, and E, 2, 3, and let your wrist float off. Nice, so that's that first line. Let's take it back a little bit. We'll break it down into parts. If that's just a little difficult, let's start with just that first measure only. We'll go from C to F. Those 4 notes. We'll go C, D, E, F, and stop. Let's try it again. So, starting on C, find your 1. Make sure your second finger is on the next note, third finger's on the next note, and fourth finger's lined up for F. Yeah, so we have 1, 2, nice and slow. 1 on C, D, E, F. Nice, so let's stop there. And now, let's look at the measures after this. Measure 2. We have G, F, E, D, C, 2, and D, 2. So, take it from G here. 1, 2, 5 on G, and G, F, E, D, C. Nice. Okay, so You'll notice in the first measure, we're moving upwards. In the second measure, we are moving downwards. Up by step, down by step. And then in the third measure, starting from that C, that 1, 2, we go up another step. See how we're on a line and we're moving to the very next space, even though it doesn't look like doesn't look like D here is on a space, it is because it's below the staff. See that? There's no line going directly through it, so it's on a space. And it's the very next space up from C, so it's D. A, B, C, D. Okay, so let's take it from that third measure where we get those half notes. And these half notes will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Rest. So that's from measure 3. Now let's play it. We'll go 1, 2, 1 on C, and C2, and D2, and E2, 3, and then wrist floats off. Well done, well done. And let's move now to measure 5. This is the beginning of that second line. Okay, so right off the bat, we should notice we're not in treble clef anymore. See how the treble clef on this line is entirely blank? We are now in the bass clef, right? So that first note, I wrote it in here, that's going to be 1 on G. If you haven't written it into your book, go ahead and do so. It's very helpful. So we start G, and then are we moving upwards or downwards from G? See how if you kind of follow the line of the notes, it has a downward angle to it. So we go G, down to F, down to E, down to D, down to C. See that? Going downwards. So we're also moving by steps. See how we go from a space to the next line, from a line to the next space, space to the next line, and line to the next space. That's how you know we're going to be moving in a stepwise motion. No leaping here, just steps. So starting from that 1 on G, we're going to take it from the top of the second line, measure 5. So we have 1 on G, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, F, E, D, C, and stop there. Those are those first 5 notes. But what does that sound like? It sounds exactly like our 5-finger pattern, right? See how that comes in handy in music? Let's go one more time. We'll go real slow. So from that G at measure 5, 1, 2, 1 on G, and G, F, E, D, C. Good job, nice. Now we're going to connect that to the next measure. From that C that we just landed on the second measure, we'll go C, D, E, F, G. That's that next figure here. So for these sets of notes, we're not moving down, but moving up. See how this diagonal line of the notes seems to be moving upwards just a little bit at a time, going up. That means with moving by steps, going from space to the line and line to the space, space to the line and line to the space, means we're all just going to be using our 5 fingers in our 5-finger pattern, right? And we'll just work our way up 1 finger at a time. So if we are in our left hand, we started on 1 on G. We did G, F, E, D, C. We're at this C here. Measure 6. Second measure of the second line. We'll go C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. C, D, E, F, G, and stop there. Good job. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have C, D. Sorry, one more time. We'll go 3, 4. C, D, E, F, G, 2. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to put those two measures together. And let's see what it sounds like. We start on 1 on G, right here, measure 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's try that one more time. Nice and steady. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, G. Nice. And then the last 3 measures here at the end, starting from G. Let's analyze this. We have G with our 1, right? So first finger, thumb on G with our left hand, and then we're stepping downwards from there. See how we go from space to a line, and it's the very next one. We're moving downwards. That means it's a step down. Then look, we have another step just after that. So we go G down to F down to E. So those weren't the right notes that I sang. Let's play them. So G to F 2, and then E 2, 3, rest, and then our wrist will float off again. So let's try these 2 measures at the end here together with our left hand. We'll go left hand 1 on G, 2, 3, 4, and G half note, F half note, and E dotted half, rest. Good job. Awesome. So let's try and put this whole piece together now. Take it from the top. And don't forget the wrist float offs at the end of each line there. Let your wrist float off. Like a little hot air balloon, or like it's floating away in a little river, right? So 1, 2, from the beginning we have 1 on C, and C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, 2, and D, 4, and E, 2, 3, wrist float off. And left hand comes in. We go 1 on G, G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, G, 2, and F, 3, and E, 2, 3, wrist float off. Nice, excellent job, seriously. And even if it wasn't perfect every time, that's totally fine. As long as you're trying, that's what counts. So now that we've gone through our book and we've done a C major scale, those are 2 really big steps in your musical education. Let's do something fun. I'm going to take the book away and we're just going to do a little song called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So this one's going to start with C, and for this, I just want you to be looking at the keys. I don't have any written music for this. It'd be pretty easy though, because it's only a few notes here, but starting on C, we'll go 1 on C, 5 on G. Let's try that again. So C, G. Or if you want to hear it on maybe a little bit lower of an octave, it might be easier to hear. We'll go C, G. Let's start with these 2 notes. So now we're going to do 2 of each. So C, C, G, G. Try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We go C, C, G, G. Now, can you hear what note is next in Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? So see how each of my fingers here has a key? Watch what's happening here. We'll go C, C, G, G, and then watch my pinky. It's going to stretch. So it just stepped over to the next white note. So from G to A. So we'll go C, C, G, G, stretch the pinky to A, and then back to G. So it's a bit of a pinky workout here. We're going we're going C, C, G, G, stretch pinky to A, and G, A, G. That's that feeling. And if that's difficult, just try and practice going like this. Can you do a little dog shadow puppet? That's a good way to practice moving your pinky separately from the rest of your hand. If you can't do that, it might even just be easier to go boop, 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 boop. And that'll train those muscles to get used to that feeling of stretching your pinky without moving the other fingers. Another good finger exercise is this. Little Spock hands, and then that. So we have that, we have that, we have that, and we have that. Yeah, but those are helpful finger exercises if your fingers aren't quite moving the way that you think they should be there. But let's move on in Twinkle Twinkle. So we have C, C, G, G, A, G. Can you guess what note comes next? I'll give you a hint. It's a step down from where we were. So we're stepping down. So to the very next note down. So C, C, G, G, A, G. And then downwards we go to F, F. Keep going down, E, E. Keep going down, D, D. And then down to C. Nice, good job. So let's try all of that together. We have 1, 2, 1 on C, and C, C, G, G, A, stretch back to G, and then 4 on F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Now we're going to jump to G. So 5 on G, G, D, F, F, E, E, D. You try. G, G, F, F, E, E, and D. You want to try that again? G, G, F, F, E, E, D. And then we take it back to the beginning. What was the first part of this song again? We go to C, C, G, G. Stretch your pinky to A, G. And then work your way back down your 5-finger patterns. We go 4 on F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Amazing. Good job. Let's try that one more time all together. No stopping. 1, 2, 3, 4, and C, C, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. To G, up above the world so high. G again, like a diamond in the sky. Back to the beginning, and twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Nice. Amazing work today. I hope that your dance competition went well, and that you had a lot of fun, of course. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week in person. Thank you so much for asking for another video lesson. Be happy to do them anytime. Take care.